Phil Jakes and Gary Ballant scored 50s, Anthony McGrath reached a wonderful 100, and Ryan Sidebottom also chipped in with some useful runs at number 9 as Yorkshire battered themselves into a safer position on the third day of their LV County Championship match at Headingley against Hampshire. Having recovered from 32 for 3 to 100 for 3 on the previous evening in reply to Hampshire's 427, the first target for the overnight batsmen, Jakes and Ballant, was to help their side add another 178 runs, at which point the follow-on would be avoided. And to that end, Jakes began very brightly after resuming his innings on 59. The Australian has had many superb knocks in his career, but this one would have been right up there. Conditions for him and Ballant were very difficult, yet they still managed to play some shots to keep the board ticking over. Both batsmen are in tremendous form and entered this match with hundreds under their belts last week in Bristol. Ballant, who started the day on 26, now added a 50 to that with his 9th 4 of his 87th delivery. While Jakes was brilliant in making 160 in that memorable win over Gloucestershire a week ago, it was the undefeated innings of Ballant there which really shone through, and he again looked set to pile on the runs here. Last season he made many handy contributions, but this year, under the new coach Jason Gillespie, the 22-year-old Zimbabwean who started his county career with Derbyshire has moved up a gear. Those contributions are now becoming even more significant. This pair added 203 last time out, and their partnership here reached 149, made in 40 largely testing overs. Jakes was once more into the 90s. A third 100 in 6 innings since his return to Yorkshire looked inevitable, but 7 runs short of 3 figures, he top-edged a sweep off Liam Dawson to be held by David Balcombe. He departed at 181 for 4, and Hampshire were back on course when they also picked up the wicket of Ballant before lunch. On 76, he was strangled down the leg side off Sean Irvine. That put the home side on 193 for 5, and they still needed 85 more runs to ensure that Hampshire would have to bat next. To all intents and purposes, with 2 new men at the crease, Yorkshire had to start again from scratch, and that job was now left to McGrath and Gerard Brophy, the man playing in this game in place of Johnny Bairstow, who spent the day sitting on the players' balcony at Lord's. This pair knocked off another 39 runs, but 2 wickets in successive overs gave Hampshire renewed hope. Brophy couldn't hit Dawson over the top and found Chris Wood at mid-off, while Adil Rashid was bowled by a beauty from Balcombe to reduce Yorkshire to 237 for 7 just before the second new ball was due. So now Hampshire sensed that they had a real chance of achieving their goal. As McGrath was joined by Sidebottom, 41 more runs were needed to avoid the follow-on. An important moment in this game, which had lost nearly half a day's play on the previous day. McGrath had a disappointing campaign a year ago, but has been showing his fighting qualities this term all right. And soon enough, he and Sidebottom had done their job. Now they needed to get as close to Hampshire's 427 as possible. Sidebottom averaged 20 with the bat on his Yorkshire return last season, and is certainly a better batsman than the one that left the county back at the end of 2003. A delightful push through the covers took his partner McGrath to his second 50 of the summer. He'd needed 93 balls for this one, and that was the 9th 4 of this knock to date. The two kept on going before the tea break. Conditions had not been as easy as when Hampshire batted on the first day, so this was a real effort from a 36 and a 34-year-old, who both proved that this game is not always about the exuberance of youth, as some would have you believe. A third batting bonus point was reached before tea time, as this partnership for the 8th wicket eventually realised a crucial 84 runs. Sidebottom had made 34 of those, but fell when he nibbled at a delivery from Kabir Ali to give an edge behind. Kabir then should have added the wicket of McGrath to that, but he had to watch Simon Cattish drop the kind of chance at slip he would normally take in his sleep. McGrath, who made his Yorkshire debut exactly 17 years ago, certainly made the most of that let-off. He came close to hitting 100 in the match at Scarborough against Leicestershire when he was dismissed for 90, but he was not to miss out this time. He was picking off the bowlers as he moved nearer to it. This 6 off Dawson would have helped. He now added 39 runs for the 9th wicket with Stephen Patterson, who was out for 12 when Cattish did cling on to a chance off the bowling of Dawson. McGrath was on 84 as last man Ian Wardlaw came to join him. The number 11 blocked out at one end, and that allowed McGrath to get his exceptional century. It was a high-class innings from the experienced all-rounder who got to three figures off 180 balls, an innings which contained 14 fours and 1 6. After 120 overs, Andrew Gale declared with his side on 399 for 9, and that conceded a first innings lead of 28. McGrath left unbeaten on 106, and that gave the Yorkshire bowlers 10 overs to have a go at Hampshire. Jimmy Adams and Dawson saw out the first 29 balls in putting on 18. But then Rashid into the attack early had Dawson caught at point by Jakes off a slider. Bad light then took the players off after 7.2 overs with Hampshire on 21 for 1, which gives them a lead of 49 going into the final day, a day which could still end with any result, although the draw is the favourite.